Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Cory, joined by my co-host, Cory.
Yep, that's me.
We haven't seen much of each other in the last few days.
We saw each other yesterday.
We went to a game on Friday. Used to be in like every game though together, so it's weird.
For the next 2 weeks, it's going to be like that.
It is what it is, yep. So we'll how was your week, Cory?
Great. Can't complain. Saw some great hockey games. I really can't complain. The playoffs have been great so far.
Right on, man. I had a busy one, but it was a good week. Some busy stuff at work, busy time of year, but a lot of good things. And then the weekend was hockey all over the province, so it was a great time.
Yeah. What was it? 7 games in 3 nights.
Yeah, and the 8th
with
game
an
is
8th one on Tuesday. Yeah,
or tonight. As you're listening to this, the game will be Tuesday night.
Yeah.
If you're listening to it on Tuesday. If you're listening to it on Wednesday, it was last night. If you're listening to it on Thursday, what the hell are you doing with your life?
Yeah. You watch it live. Come on.
I don't listen to any podcasts right away either, so I get it.
All right. On Friday, Miramichi beat Spring Hill in Game 1, 4-0. Goal scorers here: Brandon Milson, 1 goal, 3 points; Kennedy Gallant, 1 goal, 2 points; Denver Dunfield, 1 goal; and Jeff Wilson, 1 goal. Pretty one-sided beating that would just get worse as the weekend would go on.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Let's run through all the games and then we'll come back.
All right. Saturday. That was the sole game on Friday, by the way. So on Saturday night, River Valley beat BSHL 3-2 in a very close game. You were at that game. River Valley's Peter Traynor, 1 goal, 2 points. Adam Crow, 1 goal. Zach Whitlock, 1 goal. David Brewer, 2 assists. LC's Alex Arsenault, 1 goal. And Robbie Graham, 1 goal. The game I was at, Dalhousie beat Bouctouche. This was in Dalhousie. 6-0. Pascal Valcourt with a snipe for that 6th goal. Unbelievable. 1 goal, 4 points. Jesco Bernard, 2 goals, 3 points. Alex Beaulieu, 1 goal. Jeremy Doucette, 1 goal. And Ryan Mockler, 1 goal. And as I flip my page, again on Saturday, Miramichi beat Spring Hill 8-2. So let the good times keep rolling for Miramichi, I guess. Miramichi's Brett Young, 1 goal, 5 points on the night. Brendan Milson, 1 goal, 2 points. Kennedy Gallant, 3 assists. Grant Donovan, 2 goals. Spring Hill's Artie Chisholm, 1 goal, 2 points. Michael Clark, 1 goal. And that was the only 2 goals for Spring Hill. On Sunday, BSHL beat River Valley to tie the series up. They won 3-0. Wayne Jones, Elijah Francis, and Mackenzie Brown were the goal scorers in that game. Shippigan then beat Tracadie 2-1. Shippigan's Miguel Brideau, 1 goal. Shippigan's Chris Doyle, 1 goal. And Tracadie's Lucien Carlsonier, 1 goal. And then a very interesting game that I caught the end of. Bouctouche beat Dalhousie 3-2 in overtime. Bouctouche's Logan Timmons, 1 goal. Remy Odou, 1 goal. And Yannick Jacob with the OT winner. But Francis Thibault from Dalhousie with 2 goals. And those are the games that we have seen so far.
So Friday night, we all went to Miramichi. So let's start there.
A shout out for Daniel Vautour. Your father kept mentioning that your cousin got a shutout. Fun times with Bob Robichaud. What a great guy he is.
Yeah, we had a good time. My dad won the 50-50 in Miramichi.
He's like looking at me. He asked me the last number. I'm like that. And he just goes like, yep, that's me. Just nonchalantly.
Very calm.
Just such a badass. Your dad's just such a badass. He's just like, yep, that's
hilarious. My dad definitely has some mobility issues, so he's every time moving around very quick. So I went and claimed it for him, which led to about 1,000 people telling me that congratulations for winning 50-50, which is funny. But I went and claimed that for my dad. My dad won it. It's pretty cool. I know you are not a 50-50 player at most rinks. and you're
No.
kind of like a disbeliever that anybody wins. So to see my father win, you were sitting at that point right next to him. You were in shock.
I wasn't in shock. I was extremely happy that it's someone that I know. Your dad's been like super cool with me, talking music with me. Really made a really cool new friend. So I was really happy to see that he won.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So now let's get down to some hockey. Miramichi really was the whole story for this game. They kind of dominated it.
Yeah, a team effort. I said when they won. I in doing my notes, I didn't realize that game 2 was 8-2. I thought I hadn't seen the score. I think it's the only one that I hadn't seen the score. So congratulations to Miramichi. They lead the series 2-0. But for Spring Hill, what do they do to combat this?
I mean, I think a part of it is just believing themselves that they can do this. They are a good team. They can come back from this. Hope went down in Miramichi.
Yeah, he did.
And I don't think he played the game in Spring Hill. I'm not sure. I know that when I tuned in to Roxanne Merrill Young's stream, Cox was in net.
Okay.
So,
see, Hope is one of the best goalies in the BSHL, hands down. He's a brick wall in net. He rivals Colette and Charles Austin as the 1, 2, and 3 in the league. Where do we put them? Depends the night. Him going down is extremely frustrating if you're a Spring Hill fan.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I think Spring Hill played a pretty good game in Miramichi. They had good moments and good periods where they had good puck control. Definitely cycled it some, got some good shots on Vautour. Vautour played great, like you said. But it was a good game. It wasn't, it was one-sided at points, but it was also a pretty tight game at points. It wasn't a boring game. It was fun to watch. Yeah.
I did not see this one. It's like there was 7 games.
I'm still talking about Friday night.
On Friday night. Okay, so yeah, I did see that one.
You did see that one.
I did see it with my own 2 eyeballs. I don't know. It was my immediate thought was it's the first game of the playoffs, the first game. Mm-hmm. Getting your legs underneath you. We'll see where it goes from there. To see that they lost 8-2 the next night, I'm sure it's frustrating for the team. It's frustrating for management. I'm sure it's frustrating for the fans. We both know that Spring Hill is a damn good team, and they can come back from this.
Absolutely.
So we'll just have to wait and see. It's 2 games. You still got 2 games to prove yourself.
Weather pending, we're going to be there Friday night. Somebody's going to be there Friday night. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing what happens. I think Spring Hill can still bounce back from this, but the Northmen are really hitting their stride at the best time of the year.
Yeah. I believe you mentioned that in the car. It's a great time to become a powerhouse. And we already knew that Miramichi was a powerhouse. But that victory and the victory the next night really proved it.
Saturday night, I'll start. I was in Doketown. Got to watch the Hawks and the Lumberjacks, and I felt like it was a really even, hard-hitting game. It was a good game. I loved how well Julian Daigle played. Julian looked really good in net on Saturday night, and that's been a rough point for the Hawks. The team played well. Alex Arsenault played well. No shock. There's a lot of people up from Richibucto, LC Rexton. A lot of people. Like, a ton. It was unbelievable, the amount of people that made the trip. So, shout out to them for doing that. The River Valley fans are always great, man. They're just such nice people. So, we had a great time. But yeah, the game was really even. I mean, the reason the Lumberjacks won that game, in my opinion, Zach Whitlock had a great game. He just looked good, made some good plays, smart plays. And Josh Simpson. Yeah. Simpson is beast. he doesn't have that background that a lot of goalies in the league have. You know, he didn't play. I don't think he played junior. But he's one of the best goalies in the league, and he now has beaten the Hawks almost single-handedly twice. That first game of the year, it was all Simpson. Saturday, Simpson played a huge role in that win.
We'll get into the game from last night, game 2, but I got some things to say about Josh Simpson as well. I am a big fan of his.
Dalhousie, you went up with my sister and my mom. You guys had a great time. Dalhousie is always such a fun place to go. I have a question. Did you guys stop at the St. Hubert and Bathurst on the way by?
We did.
Oh, there you go. You got it, I think.
Yeah. I think Dalhousie is the only arena I haven't tried the food yet.
Okay.
Because the only 2 times we went, we stopped to St. Hubert. And your mom, another one of my new best friends, she was like dead set on buying me lunch.
Oh.
And I got in first and ordered my food and went to sit down, and she wasn't too pleased about that.
I bet.
So she got me back. We stopped at the corner store at the.
Oh, did she buy you some chigs?
She got me a barbecue chicken pizza, and
nice.
She was like, "Didn't let me buy you lunch. I'm buying you pizza now."
There you go. How was the game? Let's start with Dalhousie. How'd Dalhousie look on Saturday night?
As advertised, they were Dalhousie cycling the puck. Just Jesco Bernard, Mockler, Pascal Valcourt. Just that trio has something so special that if they don't click or they are not together next year, fans, be thankful you got this year to see this trio together, because they are unbelievable. Pascal Valcourt so it ended 6-0 for Dalhousie. The 6th goal was Pascal Valcourt's goal. Unbelievable. Just the snipe, the release, the speed. And you're talking about doing that to Alex Colette, who is probably the most laid back, stay in the net, like best goalie that you have in the BSHL. And it was too fast for him to see. And he sees everything. So Pascal Valcourt, just an amazing talent. Jesco Bernard, 2 goals, 3 points. Some fans there who listened to the podcast came up to me and they were like, Jesse KO? So they're ribbing me now.
Good for you. You deserve it, you bastard. So this game was 2-0 Dalhousie through 2 periods. Bouctouche was competitive. And then I think, based on people that I talked to, seen the score sheet, et cetera, Dalhousie did what Dalhousie does, and they scored 2 goals really quick, and it just took the wind out of the sails for the JCs.
It seemed a little like the JCs gassed themselves out, really trying to catch up to Dalhousie. Dalhousie just, I don't know, they just cycled the puck. And it wasn't just the top line, like the other lines were doing their job too. Only had 4 defensemen that night, by the way. So they were down 2 defensemen. And still they put out a performance like this. Joey Bernard was not there. There was an unfortunate incident that happened where a puck flew in the audience and smacked someone in the head, I think. So the game was paused for a while so that medical attention can be given to this person. I think they were all right.
Yeah, they were all right.
I got to call out the paramedics, though, for taking their sweet-ass time to get to this person as they're motioning, come, quick. And they're looking and, should we go? And I'm like, I look at your mom and I'm like, remind me not to have a heart attack in this arena. I'll be dead by the time they get to me. So, and then the game started back and just Bouctouche had nothing by that time.
Yeah. So on to Sunday, you were in Richibucto for Richibucto versus River Valley. Tell me about that game.
Not the best game that I saw this weekend, but a very interesting game. The one thing I'm going to say about River Valley is Josh Simpson. We've talked about Colette. We've talked about Charles Austin. We've talked about Hope. Simpson has to be number 4. He made some unbelievable saves.
Yeah.
Like the score could have been worse than 3-0. Josh Simpson did his job. The one thing, and I'm not saying that River Valley didn't try. Trust me, River Valley tried. This was a very entertaining game. The defense in LC is unmatched. Unmatched. It was bizarre seeing them just trying to do something, and you got both defensemen on you, one taking away the puck, one lifting up the stick. Just it was synchronized. It was they had a flow to them.
And this was LC without Danick Crate.
Danick Crate was there watching the game.
Okay.
I did talk to a few people, and they said that Danick said that maybe next game. I think the injury was reported worse than it actually is.
Okay.
So it looks like he might be there for game 3, which is like for
that's huge
parts
for the
of
Hawks.
That's huge for the Hawks. But listen to this. For parts of the game, Trey Lewis played forward. Think about that for a second.
There's an incredible amount of defensemen on the of talented defensemen.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Like me and my buddy Charlie, shout out to Charles Delory, always comes to the Hawks games with me. Known this guy since I was 3 years old. I'd take a bullet for this guy. He's on the same level as you and Joel and Mark, and just one of my best friends. And we're both just standing there, not even talking, just looking at this defense, just refusing to let the puck even touch Dag. Like it was unbelievable. Very entertaining game. They tied the series up. I'm interested to see where this goes. Like the River Valley Lumberjacks
played a good game though.
Absolutely, he did an unbelievable save as well.
Okay.
But the defense really helped out. The forwards did too. Elijah Francis got a goal in this game. We got Mackenzie Brown with goal. Wayne the Train Jones. This guy.
Oh, there we go.
This guy doesn't get enough credit for being such a great player. The Hawks really impressed me because the knock on the Hawks this year was River Valley's got their number. They're probably going to get swept by the Lumberjacks. I never said that because I've seen the Hawks enough to know that, there's playoff hockey and there's regular season hockey. Do the Lumberjacks still have a chance? Of course they do. They could win the next 3 easily. But for this game, the Hawks really impressed me.
The Hawks have those, you mentioned Jones, but the Hawks have those guys. You have the Santa Passes and the Jones and Marc-Andre Arsenault, these depth guys who Brett Bernard's another great example. Some games, all of a sudden, they pop up and get a goal when they need to.
Yeah,
they get that goal when it matters. They're not going to be your stars, but they're guys you notice on the ice. And, shout out to those players. Every team's got them, but the Hawks have some really good ones.
I was looking for number 13, Tyson Donovan, and I didn't see him. I don't think he played. And I was actually talking to Charlie, and he's like, on River Valley, he's not familiar with River Valley. And I'm like, so he knew Benji Curtis, and he was impressed with Josh Simpson. And I was like, they got a really good guy in there in Tyson Donovan. And I kept looking all game, and I don't think he's there. Look for number 13. So I don't think he was there. But, I'm a big fan of Tyson Donovan's play.
I agree. He had a solid game on Saturday. Everything's becoming a blur. So Sunday night, I went to Bouctouche. Live stream there was Bouctouche and Dalhousie again. Bouctouche came out. That's all I can say. Dalhousie really controlled the first period, especially the first part of the first period. All Dalhousie. They cycled the puck. They got a lot of shots on net. They look great. Bouctouche scores their first goal. And you kind of hear, it was very quiet. It was very quiet in the rink. And then Bouctouche scores the second goal. They're up 2-0. Were they up 2-0 when you got to Bouctouche, or was it 2-1?
Oh, no. It was 2-0 because they got 2 goals in the first period.
Okay.
So the reason I know that is someone that was next to me was Seb, was standing next to me, and the live stream just crapped out. Just it wasn't worth it. Someone was streaming on TikTok. You were like, kill it, and we'll just link the TikTok. So I got to enjoy the game. I enjoy the game anyway. I enjoy doing the live stream. I get to talk with people and all that. It disappoints me when it craps out and it doesn't go our way. But we had the phone watching the Bouctouche game while we were watching the Hawks game. And people were like sort of like crowded around us watching both games. And when Bouctouche scored, they popped. Not because they were like, oh, yay, Bouctouche, because holy crap, Bouctouche scored. And then when Bouctouche scored a second one, you would have thought there was a goal in the arena live. But they were popping for the Bouctouche second goal. They were like, I can't believe this. So that made it interesting because listen, LC fans aren't fans of Bouctouche. It's a rival team. But there's also that hockey fan in you that wants to cheer the underdog. And Bouctouche is clearly the underdog here. So seeing them go up 2-0 in the first period, it's like, what is going on here?
And then Dalhousie came back.
I was there for both those goals. I got there right before the third started. Took over the stream after a while because I enjoy doing that. You got to go rest your back because you seemed a little uncomfortable in a little chair, and I'm a lot shorter than you, so it worked out a little better for me. So Dalhousie comes back.
Yeah. Thibault with both goals, right?
Yep.
And then we go to overtime. And shout out to Colette in this game. Colette played well. And shout out to Jean Deron. Jean Deron played great. Mm-hmm. He looks so solid in net. Doesn't look too shaky. He's handling the JCs, they had a rough year. They only got better and better and better as the year went on. So, you see these Yannick Jacobs and Logan Timmins, and like, this is a very talented team. So I'm not, we were talking about it last week. This isn't going to be, I was talking to some Dalhousie fans on Saturday night or Sunday morning, and they're like, are you streaming tomorrow night? And I was like, yeah, we're going to be streaming if we have internet connection, which is the answer for any game I'm at. If there's internet connection and there's no stream, we'll stream it. But they were kind of curious, and they were like, yeah, I'm not too worried, Dalhousie, the JCs, I think at that point, the JCs hadn't scored a goal on Dalhousie yet.
No,
they were like pretty confident. And I was like, oh, you just never know with the JCs. They're that kind of a team. Because I remember last year, the Hawks were up 3-1 in the finals, or in the South finals, and then they were up 3-2, and then it was 3-3. They're that kind of a team in the playoffs. They know how to play. So I am surprised that the JCs won last night, but also it's par for the course. It does guarantee there will be a game 5 in Dalhousie a week from Saturday, so that's great for Dalhousie fans.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good series. They're proving that there's going to be some good hockey played there.
Yeah. I really and the game-winning goal was
Yannick Jacob.
So I don't know. I've been saying this all year. I wish the Bouctouche people would give the JCs another chance. I wish, it's playoff hockey. It's good hockey. The parking lot was full. This is what I don't get. The parking lot was full, but the arena was half empty. I don't get that one at all. Was there something else around where people were parked there? Because I had to park all the way in the back. Yeah. But you get there and you see all these empty seats, and it was confusing to me.
The team is better than the crowds they're getting. They're a good team. They're a fun team to watch, and JC's games have just always been a great time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, hopefully they won, and word gets around town that you don't want to miss game 4 in Bouctouche. No. It's a week from Monday, or it's next Monday. Right now, it'll be 6 days away.
And that's the only game that day, right?
It's the only game. I think it's like an 8:00 start or something.
Okay, so we'll all be at that one.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. It's becoming an interesting series. I can't wait to see what happens on Saturday.
What was the more shocking game this weekend out of the 7? So wait. Before we do that, we got one more game, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we weren't at it, though. So Tracadie and Shippagan.
So Tracadie and Shippagan. Shippagan won 2-1, sorry.
Yeah.
Chris Doyle continues to score. Very close game, apparently, but 2-1. Shippigan takes the draws first blood.
Yeah, now Tuesday night, Shippigan at home against Trackety.
I will be there for that one.
I might not be. We'll see tomorrow how I'm feeling after work. But I know you're heading up with Cheryl, so that'll be fun. Maybe you guys will be listening to this podcast while you're driving up. That's a possibility. Maybe. Cheryl does love to listen to it at 6:00. So, God,
so 7 games we've had. What was the most surprising game this weekend for you?
Probably Miramichi being as dominant as they were against Spring Hill, because Spring Hill's a really good team. I'm high on Spring Hill. I really do think that they've got a chance in this. And I still believe that. I still don't think it's over. I think they could battle back, win 2 games this weekend, and then who knows, could go 7. This is one of the ones that I thought would go 7.
Yeah. Could you pick a game of the week? What was the best game this week?
Bouctouche and Dalhousie on Sunday night.
On Sunday, I agree with that. I saw the only thing I missed was the second period, and you said that Gendron and Colette both stood on their head in that period. Yeah. So,
you took over the camera. I went and sat lower, lowest I've sat all year almost, unless I'm standing behind the glass. So I was sitting like 3 rows behind the Dalhousie bench. It's fun when you're sitting that low sometimes. You get to see stuff and hear stuff you wouldn't necessarily see if you were up top. So when it went into overtime, clearly all the guys were a little bit tired. When it went into double overtime, some of the guys started cramping up on the Dalhousie bench. I know Jessica Bernard started cramping up because he just was visibly in pain. And it's hard, man. You know, you're playing hockey. Once you finish that 10-minute overtime, you sit down for 15 minutes while they resurface. You have to come back out. Double overtime is never easy on a body.
No. And the overtime here is weird because they had, a 3-minute rest period?
Yeah.
And then they played 10 minutes of overtime. Then they cleaned the ice surface. And then they played for another, it was for another 20, but a goal was scored by Yannick Jacob. Was this the bigger upset of the playoffs so far in this game?
Probably, because I really thought with how Bouctouche couldn't figure Dalhousie out again in game 1 that would continue. But I'm kind of glad they proved us wrong. Makes for some fun.
You got to imagine that they're riding high now because you go down 6-0. How do you come back from that? Sure. You were leading 2-0 and you gave up 2, but you battled back and you won in overtime. You can't say, we gave up 2 goals. You got to take the win. This is playoff hockey. There's no loser point in here. You win or you lose. That's it. The series is tied 2-2.
1-1.
1-1. My bad. I'm still tired over this weekend. There are 2 games played. That's what I think I meant. But if so only 1 game for Trackety and Shippigan. So tomorrow night we're gonna see how that goes. But right now we got 2 series that are tied and 1 that's 2-0.
I'm exhausted, much like you. It's a busy weekend. We're tired, and can't wait for this weekend. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
It was everything that I was hoping would happen this weekend is exactly how it went. Like, it was exciting. There was a lot of people at most of the games. Our streams had the most people we've seen in the streams to date. So that's cool.
I think the Bouctouche versus Dalhousie on Sunday on Facebook had over 400 people at one point.
I had over 500 at one point for me.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's not bad. Not bad for little promotion and it being a Sunday night game where there was also a game in Richibucto. There was also a game in Trackety. But it was a great game. Glad it went to overtime. It was really exciting. You could feel that electricity in the arena when it was going to double overtime. Like, there was that nervous energy. And it's so much fun for us because I wasn't nervous at all. Doesn't really matter to me who wins. So it's fun to just exist and watch hockey and have good relationships with both teams and be happy for whoever wins. So yeah, it was a good time. It was fun.
Yeah. I was talking with Travis Robichaud, and I was like, you go for the hockey, but you stay for the pizza. Chig's Pizza. God, I'm in love with that pizza. I swear to
You
God.
love that barbecue chicken pizza.
Oh my God. And Travis was like giving me tips. He's like, FYI, I drizzle some ranch on mine. I was like, okay. So I drizzled some ranch on mine. God damn, that's some good stuff.
Oh man. Yeah, it is some good pizza. I have a donair pizza in the freezer. I have I have a couple pepperoni and a donair. But yeah, no, I love having some chigs, come home from work and toss in the oven some quality pizza. But man, Cory, this is turning into another food episode. My God.
That's what it is.
It's what we do. It's what we do. All right, man. We'll be back Thursday night to preview another busy weekend and to go over the last game from the first weekend that you will be at.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for being here, Cory.
Tomorrow. No worries.
Tomorrow. We'll talk. We'll see you soon.
All right. Take care.